I have to say, I made a big transition about 10 years ago, but nobody does it better than Tony Robbins, who's a dear friend of mine. When you watch him talk about making sure you blame the people in your life. If you're going to blame a parent for not being there, abandoning you, not going to your baseball games, not supporting you, or doing some crazy things, or if they had an addiction when they were young, or they gave you up for adoption, sometimes we blame them for that. And the greatest person I've ever seen frame that in a way, I mean, I had my own transition, but Tony frames it in a way where he says, if you're going to blame them for the shit, you better blame them for all the good they gave. I remember a woman stood up in the crowd and she said, my dad was never there for me. He didn't support me. I was the only girl. I was a girl and they had no more kids. He wanted a boy. Everything I did wasn't good enough because I wasn't a boy. And I got second place in a state swim meet once and he left and I had to walk home 3 miles because I lost by just a couple of inches. And she was telling how bad it was, and you could tell she was just emotionally distraught. It had been bugging her whole life. And Tony said, and he was horrible to my mom, and we didn't have money, so Tony said to her, well, what about you? Are you horrible to your kids? She said, hell no, I would never do what my father does. I tell my kids I love them every day. And he said, are they bad kids? And she goes, no, they're both graduating at the top of college. She goes, how about your business? She goes, I started my own business. Screw him, he was always broke. So Tony looked at her and said, if you're going to blame him for being that shit dad, you better blame him for being a supportive, kick-ass woman who took control of your business, took control of your life, took control of your kids. In fact, Tony said, you know what you need to do right now? Is he alive? Get on the phone and call him and tell him you blame him for that. And she did. And you watched a woman lost. I don't know if anybody was at that event or seen something similar. I don't know if you remember seeing her the next day. She lost 20 years off of her face. She was blaming somebody for the wrong. She didn't think about it. And the last 10% that I held on to some craziness I went through with my father as a kid went away completely that day. Because I blame my father because I'm obsessive, I'm a hard worker, and I have empathy and care, and I can tell how people feel, and I want to change their hearts. I wouldn't have had that if my dad wasn't exactly who he was. He was put in my life, and I was put on this earth to live that experience, just like you were. So if you're holding on to any of that stuff, just think of Donald Willis or whatever tough times you went through. Blame them, because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be in this room ready for a transformation, ready for that next level.
What's up? What's up? Hey, before you go, you need to watch these next few videos. They're absolute game changers. Hurry up and click right over here and watch them, and I'll see you there.